Hello, welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at a Pokemon that is kinda missing from the meta, which is going to be Carbink. Carbink, a Pokemon that actually dominated the meta at one point and then kinda went away. And I honestly don't even really know why. Like, yes, Rockslide got nerfed, which you still have on here, by the way. Maybe it is better to have Power Gem, but I wasn't too sure about it. Rockslide has the ability to be a little bit faster for this team, while, of course, the Power Gem does a little bit more damage and is generally speaking the better move. But then again, I don't know how big of the difference is there. And I also didn't really want to use Charge Gems because yeah, I just don't really have a lot of them. So yeah, today we're going to take a look at this team. This team got number 3 on the leaderboards. So very, very strong team here for sure at 3,406 MMR. Definitely, of course, link to the player as well down below in the description for every single time where I use a team from someone from X, or Twitter, of course. Then the link is down below. But yeah, interesting team here. And we also are going to, of course, a very normal strategy here. We're going to have a strategy. We're going to have a lead that's going to try to align itself and then try to hard wall the backline with our Pokemon that we have here as our backline. And this worked out really well in the first battle. Next opponent, we're going to have a Talonflame in the lead. That's going to be a very neutral matchup. But again, you kind of want to play those out. You kind of want to win those ones. Even if you go shields down, it's going to be okay. It is better to align yourself here than lose alignment and then kind of getting hard walled at the end. And so we decided to use a shield here. We still should be able to fully knock them out here with the foul play. Let's see if they're going to let the move go through. They decided to do exactly this. And as we said before, we want to align ourselves. And so I decided to use a shield. So I have the perfect alignment here for our team, and in comes the Toxapex, and I don't have a good alignment for this one, but still it was worth using the shield here because I am going to be able to do still some solid damage against them, which I would have not done otherwise, and I can even go for another superpower here to get the opponent even lower, and with that, the Toxapex is going to be down in the nearly red health range here already, and I know I can take some hits quite easily, still with a Carbink, because Brine is such a bad move, that it is for me a little bit better to go into this Pokemon first, and we will see here in the back, there's going to be the Chestnut, and this is why it's so important to win the lead matchup, because imagine I lost the lead matchup, I would have went ahead and went into my Venusaur then as the next Pokemon most likely, or even to the Carbink. If I went into the Carbink, the opponent would have brought that Chestnut in against it. If I went into the Venusaur, they would have brought the other Pokemon, the Toxapex, against it. And like this, we're going to be able to align ourselves perfectly and the opponent decides to forfeit. So does it work as well against the next Talonflame? Let's see. I know the opponent here. The opponent is really, really strong. One of the best players in the world here right now as well. Always consistently good at tournaments. And so let's see on how this is going to work out for us. Malama is going to be able to do some solid damage against them. We gotta use a shield. And again, we can guarantee a realign ourselves here, which is going to be great. But I make a bit of a mistake here. I panic a bit and go for the superpower. Not worth it. Go for the foul play here. It just don't debuff yourself, like that's just literally the case for it. This was like one of the first battles that I did with the team here, so I wasn't really too sure on how to play around some of the stuff, but that did not really make too much sense. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because I can still go for a superpower here, and it literally doesn't have an impact on the game, but just would have been a bit better consistently, like for other Pokemon that could swap in. But as you can see here, they're gonna go for the Oriole, and this is gonna be a bit of an issue. And maybe I made a little bit of a mistake by staying in for that long. But now I can take a hit here with our Carbink, which is going to be interesting. Psychic Fangs is coming through. I'm going to try to catch the next move with my Venusaur, where I can take the hit. But I make a mistake here again. I should have stopped out straight away into the Venusaur, because then I would have been able to outspeed them. But apparently, because I waited out those 2 turns, the opponent is now going to be able to outspeed me by 1 turn, which is going to be quite annoying, because now I'm going to get knocked out. They see basically, like you see how strong the Morpeko is, we're going to be able to knock them out. Now it depends on what they have in the back. Is it weak to our Carbink? It is not, and so we're sadly going to lose this battle. Typhlosion is going to be next. Very neutral Pokemon here in the lead, and let's see on what we're going to do here. And as I decided to go straight for the Thunder Punch, there's only one way for me to play around it. I just gonna take the gift, and I'm just going to let the move go through, but they decided to stop out into the Moltres. And guess what? I have one of the best answers for this Pokemon here. We're going to have the Carbink, which can go for the full farm down. And I was insanely lucky, by the way, recently. I went for 1 adventure instance for, I think, like 45 minutes. I walked outside. I got a XXL Moltres that I caught with a Master Ball. And at the end of the adventure instance, I got a shiny Galarian Moltres. I kind of really would like to make a video about this Pokemon as well. Didn't have good IVs, but who has a shiny Galarian Moltres? Let me know down below actually in the comment section. Do you have a shiny Galarian bird yet? This was the first one for me. I tried to play the event where the first got released like literally every day with like 1 hour plus incense. And afterwards, I still did basically my 15 minutes each day, didn't really go anywhere further than this. But I did quite a lot of them, and I did encounter a solid amount of birds, like not crazy amount or anything like this. But yeah, this was my first shiny, and I'm very happy about it, because the shinies are guaranteed to not flee. They are not guaranteed to be caught, but they're guaranteed to not flee. So you can just throw as many balls as you want on it, basically. And for me, it took 5 tries to actually catch the Pokemon, which also kind of showcases on how difficult it is to actually catch them when they're not shiny. Like 5 minutes. Did I say 5 tries? I mean, of course, 5 minutes it took me. So I had like, I don't know, like most like 20-30 throws with the Ultra Ball against this Pokemon, always with the Golden Raspberry in order to catch it at the end. But yeah, definitely very cool. I'm very happy about it. But anyway, as you can see here, against the opponent, we're going to have now perfect alignment thanks to the big advantage we had by farming down Moltres. Like literally, Carbink can catch out Moltres like it's nothing. That's basically the one Pokemon that is a really nice for that got released after it got released. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the next opponent. Superior in the lead is going to be a bit of a trickier Pokemon because they have Frenzy Plant, which is just generally speaking the better move, the harder hitting charge move. And yeah, so we're going to see a Frenzy Plant coming through. It is not ideal for us, but we can try to go ahead and go for yeah, let's see, Superpower or Foul Play. We will find out shortly. We have here now the Frenzy Plant coming through. We're going to try our best to go for another Superpower. This is going to allow us to get hopefully the KO. Let's see if this is going to work out. It does get the KO, and so we can align ourselves. And you see already why alignment is so important. And while it's a little bit awkward that I'm also 2 shields down currently, but as we will see here, we're going to go for not a superpower, but they're going to go for their own charge move, but we can at least align ourselves. If we would have not been able to align ourselves, it would have been really difficult, especially as they have Typhlosion in the back. And so, yeah, the opponent might be 2 shields up, but like, where does it matter for me if I can fully farm down both of the opponent's Pokemon? This is exactly what I mean with it is so important for this team to keep alignment. Alignment is key. Alignment is all that you need for this one. And so, yeah, we're going to go for double Rock Slide. Rock Slide it is. Rock Slide is going to allow us to get the shield. We can go for another Rock Slide. Going to allow us to get the next shield here as well. And with this, we're going to swap out into our Venusaur. And we're going to be able to now take the Mud Bomb from the opponent, which is going to be great. We see the opponent going for another charge move here as well. It's going to be another Mud Bomb. And we can win this battle quite easily. And we can move on to the next opponent. So yeah, this team got up to rank 3 in the world, which is quite a task, like really cool to see it. And here we're gonna see it Steelix against us. We're gonna go for a foul play first, but they swap out into the Moltres on a perfect timing here, great catch. I undercharged because I know I can go for the full farm on anyway with my Carbink, and I went up to 2 superpowers later on for the Steelix, which hopefully going to work out for me. So yeah, we're still gonna be in a solid spot, but like not as great as before, especially as the opponent gets the boost with the Ancient Power, which is really unfortunate to get this immediately, basically. As now they're gonna do way more damage, as they're gonna get me lower and lower, and this might actually be impactful for the battle as well. But we're still gonna get a ton of energy here, which is cool. We're gonna see the Steelix coming back in. We can go ahead and go for the Moonblast against them, which is gonna do actually some solid damage. And honestly, I should just stay in here. I decided to swap out. That is a mistake. That is a mistake. The opponent got a debuff onto the attack. Actually did solid damage. I don't know why I did not, like, yeah, swap out of here. But luckily, they're going to reveal that they're going to have the Wigglytuff in the back, and that is perfect because we have a perfect answer with the Venusaur against them. And there's basically no way that they can win this battle, I feel like, at this point. We're like so far ahead at this point that they have no chance at all. Frenzy Plant is going to take the knockout. In comes the opponent's Steelix here again. We're going to be able to take the hit. Psychic Fangs is coming through. We can use a shield now on the next one. But yeah, we're going to be in such a good spot that I'm not too worried whatsoever. We're going to be able to just go ahead and go for the swap out into the Carbink, trying to go for a Rock Slide here. This is going to be a very good force because it's going to allow us to get the opponent very low. Not the KO yet, but we can go for the full farm down, especially if we would use a shield here if we wanted to. But we can also let the move go through again. We're still going to be able to farm them down. And so we can win the battle and move on to the next opponent. Let's see what they have. We're going to have here the Lostheart, and Lostheart is going to be a Pokemon where we can at least still go for the bait. And this is like such an awkward position for us because guess what? The opponent decides to no-shield this one, and that is going to be very difficult for us because now, yeah, we're gonna be in a position where they can just guarantee realign themselves in the lead. If I just went for the superpower straight away, the opponent would have been very, very low. But I guess they know that they survive one superpower. And so now it's down to Carbink getting some energy here, and they swap out to the Feraligatr. Here's the thing, the opponent always going to be able to outspeed me here to a potential ice beam, no matter what, because they need only one extra fast move. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go for another Frenzy Plant against the opponent. This is going to allow us to get the KO against them. And we will see what they're going to do next. They decide to go ahead and go into their Gas Load again. We try our best to go ahead and get our own charge move off. But we make a big mistake here actually. Because what we see here as well is that I'm going to use a shield, which is fine because they have a lot of Brutal Swings. I want to keep my Venusaur a little bit healthier. They're going to go ahead and go into the Drapion. Drapion is going to be a Pokemon that doesn't really want to take the Frenzy Plant still, even though it's resisted. And so I should be fine here, right? I'm going to get the final shield. I'm not fine. The thing is, the issue here is the Drapion is going to be able to get a ton of energy. The energy is going to be super effective Awkward Tails very soon. And so I can go for the farm down, but not before they can go at least for 2 Awkward Tails. And if they go for another one, it's going to be very difficult, which they do. And I make a big mistake that maybe cost me the battle. Depends on how much energy the opponent needs. I swap out of here. If I stayed in, I would have very likely won the battle because I would have been able to reach a Frenzy Plant in time, but that is my own mistake and we can move on to the next opponent. I have no idea on how to play against Lucario. I'm honest with you here, I have no clue on how to play against this Pokemon. Cool Pokemon if they would have had better stats. As we're gonna see here, this was a resisted hit that got basically the opponent down to the deep red health. That's the issue with Lucario, great coverage, nothing really else though, sadly, for this Pokemon going. But I think I'll see here we're gonna have the Superpower coming through, doing some solid damage, putting them now into range for definitely a Sludge Bomb, but maybe even a Frenzy Plant from our Venusaur. I can double resist the fast moves from the opponent and it's down to Aerial Ace, but sadly it's going to be enough to two-shot us, which is really unfortunate. But we can go ahead and go for that Frenzy Plant again here as well, getting the shield. I tried to do my best to outspeed them, but it didn't work out. And so I'm forced to use another shield here against the opponent's Superior. We're gonna get them lower and lower, which is kind of nice. And I think this looks like a CMP tie. I decided to completely undercharge because they swapped out into the Lucario. It wasn't a CMP tie, that's why I undercharged. Smart play by the opponent. I'm not too sure if there's a way of us still winning. I had to catch the move. It did not work out at all. And so sadly, this game is over. I don't think there's a way of us winning this battle. Well played by the opponent, catching the move on the Lucario. And yes, I lost against the Lucario with his team, which is quite hilarious. But yeah, Frenzy Plant is coming through here. We see that they're gonna go for the farm down here. I want to fully farm, and they have Metal on the back. Would have been great for our Carbink, but it doesn't really help if we get rid of our Carbink like this. Great play by the opponent. Lost us the battle, and we can move on to the final battle for today. Feraligatr. Feraligatr is going to be an interesting Pokemon again, and this Pokemon is going to have the option to go for some Hydrocans, but we can still take a hit. But I don't want to have it against the Carbink, I want to have it against the Venusaur, so like it's a bit of an awkward scenario here, because now I can have to get alignment, I feel like. Or at least like, oh yeah, I can go for the shield here and at least yeah, keep either alignment or get the final shield from the opponent. Both of it is going to be fine. Let's see, we're going to have the superpower coming through. It is going to allow us to get the shield. And so now it's down, I guess, to Venusaur to go for the full farm down. I think that is what it is. We will see here the shield coming up from us to get some more energy, expecting an Ice Beam from the opponent, which is coming through as well. And now we have already a Sludge Bomb stored, which is going to be great, depending on what they swap in. It's going to be Clodsire, and it's great that we're in this matchup, because looking at the Pokemon that we have here right now, it's our best answer. And so yeah, I like to do some Frenzy Plant damage against them, and I swap out. I have no idea, why do I swap out of here? Like, who thought this was a great idea? Like, go for a Frenzy Plant before, like, literally. Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. They're going to reveal that they're going to have Superior in the back, which would have been a tough one anyway, no matter what it would have been. But, like, that doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? Literally, I can now go for the Sludge Bomb eventually, yes, still survive this hit, but yeah, it is just annoying, because I cannot throw the game away, and this is going to be all set for this video. This team itself was okay. I don't think it was the best team that I played, I have to say that. I don't think that Carbink is as great right now. Our Pokemon just feel way better than Carbink and that have a similar role. So yeah, I wouldn't really recommend you to build your Carbink if you haven't done that yet. If you have a Carbink already, this might be the team for you. And that's going to be it. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye bye.